I got email saying I'm losing it because I'm not saying yes or here's the deal anymore.
But believe me, you are.
You know, when I said who's the deal every third sentence, everyone said quit saying here's the deal. Or I should say here's the deal. Anyway, phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. Natalia Segluti from Pacific Palisades, the TV show.
Right.
Is not coming in tonight.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you call your friend Brittany?
Yeah, where's that damn Brittany Powell? She should be bringing me some baked confection about now. It's been like a week and a half since Brittany from the same show has brought me a pie or any pastries. Anyway, I'm Adam Carolla. This is Dr. Drew over here. He's a board-certified physician, Dixon medicine specialist, and he's not feeling well tonight.
No, I'm not.
The sickest doctor in the world. Kevorkian.
No.
It does not get sick as much as you do.
3 little kids. Says it all.
Yeah.
Your kids go to school, they're viral cultures. They bring it home, it just wipes out the family every 3 weeks.
When are we going to do something? When are we going to invent something to take care of this problem?
Viruses?
Yeah, I mean...
It's very complicated.
All right, let's just say this, Drew.
All right.
What if, let's say the modern home, 20 years from now, at the front door there would be a chamber. At that chamber would be, sealed to the outside world, and the kids would be de-something, sprayed down with something, like the astronauts were when they got back in the early Apollo missions.
Adam, everybody's got so much excess cash around to put those chambers in front of their house. I'm sure that'll be a thing.
I'll tell you, if I was president, there'd be a chick in every pot, 2 cars in every garage, and a decontamination chamber on every doorstep. All right. Let me read some quick...
But by the way, I'm actually genuinely concerned about viral illnesses. I think that is going to be something in the future.
Well, maybe you ought to talk to your doctor buddies who keep handing out the antibiotics and are letting the...
No. It's nothing to do with virus. That's resistant bacteria. That's a whole other issue. This is virus.
Listen, you can't see it, and it makes you sick. It's all the same thing. All right. And I am a doctor. Let me read some quick email here. Adam, you used to be funny, but now you come off as a bitter old man who yells at today's youth. Well, of course I'm yelling at today's youth, because if I yelled at the youth from the 40s, they'd be in their 70s now, wouldn't they, Drew?
Their 90s.
Well, wait a minute, the youth of the 40s? Yeah, okay.
70s.
No, all right, whatever. Please, don't steal my thunder. There's no other youth to yell at but today's youth, if you really think about it, so let's just scratch that one off the list. Anyway, I yell at them about things I most likely would have done if it was remotely... Oh, okay, wait, let me go back and read this. Youth about things he, meaning me, would have most likely done if he was remotely tolerable and didn't throw crap.
Oh.
That's busy. I was so busy flinging feces in my youth that I didn't have time to go out there and knock up women, get tattoos, and whatnot. Right. Now, let me tell you something. Throwing feces is a full-time job, Drew. There's no time in the feces flinging schedule to go out and get involved with snowboarding, skateboarding, tattooing, and drugs and the like.
I think that feces behavior was just a defense for you.
Full-time job.
A way of preoccupying you from the reality that you couldn't achieve. Now listen, fulfill yourself with your peers the way you wish to.
I was attacked by feces in high school on an occasion. How that makes me preoccupied with it, I'll never know. I agree with Drew, the educated one in parentheses. He gives the advice, and the show is nothing without him. He carries the show, you moron.
Thank you. I want to send a thank you letter to that person.
Yeah, it's from Joshua. All right. And I believe you have a fear of relationships. Every time a woman shows interest in you, this is good, you mention your obsessive masturbating or talcum powder and interest in adult movies. It's wise beyond his years, this Joshua. Maybe you should maybe you masturbate to escape rejection or reality. Read this on the air if you have courage to address these accusations. Well, I'm guilty. All right, the part about yelling at today's youth, because, as I said, that's the only youth you can yell at. Here's another one from Christina. We have a lot of people who are vehemently defending the junior high Sorry.
Junior college.
Freudian slip. The junior college
I was
educational
getting
system.
faxes at my office about this, and I have never once participated with you on these tirades you take out on the junior college.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes, but you turned a deaf ear and a blind eye to my tirades. You sit here and let me go on about junior college.
Because it's some aspect of that culture that you have experienced that you speak from.
I was in junior college. I know what goes on in junior college. Nothing goes on in junior college.
As I said last week, there are people that go there because of lack of economic opportunity or some reason. And those are the people that usually go on and on and on in professional training and graduate level training because they're so appreciative.
And here's another one. My final question is, why do you loathe Mountain Dew drinkers? What exactly makes you think that people who drink Mountain Dew are losers? And what are those thoughts in your head? I don't personally drink it. Oh, sure you don't. But because I don't like the taste. But they don't like the blanket statement. Christina doesn't enjoy the blanket statement that I make about Mountain Dew drinkers. Listen, find me a smart person that drinks Mountain Dew, and I will change my policy on Mountain Dew as soon as I find an intelligent person that drinks Mountain Dew or Sunny Delight. I will then will have to take that person and have a full psychological evaluation before I admit I was wrong. But so far, no one has brought forth an intelligent Mountain Dew or Sunny Delight drinker. So until you can find one, I will not relent. What is this?
Facts to you.
Okay. A word on the legalities of sex in the state of Maryland. Oh, this is a little FYI thing. It is illegal for any form of sex in Maryland other than missionary style, man on top. Sodomy, fellatio, cunnilingus, doggy style, woman on top, etc. are all illegal. Also, until recently, husbands were legally allowed to have sex with their wives without the wife's consent, as long as it was man on top, missionary style. Probably has a lot to do with Maryland being founded by Catholics. That's not my opinion. That's what Harrison says. Well, thank you for that little piece of email. All right, Drew, ready to get started with the show?
Let's go.
Tyra Banks tomorrow night, y'all. Was that tomorrow night?
No, Stephen
Baldwin. All right. Let's still do him. Jamie, 15.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, well, I'm the first person. That's cool. I'm 15, and I hope my family isn't listening right now. They, busted in my room. But I want to say that I love you guys, and you're awesome.
Thank you.
Especially you, Adam.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm already scared for Jamie. Go ahead.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm 15, and I think about sex, all the time. And I don't know. I know, almost, practically everything about it, about birth control and, STDs and stuff.
Have you had sex?
No.
In what capacity are you having these fantasies?
What? Excuse me?
In other words, is this you have fantasies about strangers or about a really involved relationship? So what is it you're fantasizing about?
I don't know.
Or just the physical act in and of itself?
Just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll, after you have sex, your compulsion will wear off.
Okay.
I think it's the fact that you haven't had it.
Yeah.
That preoccupies you with it.
Some women are preoccupied just with the act. I mean, I always make the point about women being so emotionally involved in it, but there is such a thing as some women being less receptive with it and more sort of externally preoccupied. I suspect, though, that if Jamie were actually to go out and have sex with a guy she didn't know, and it was not a committed or at least a intimate encounter, she would be very upset about it.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't just go and do it with anybody.
You wouldn't?
Right, okay.
Well, when do you want to lose your virginity, Jamie?
I don't know. I want to find somebody that I like and stuff.
All right, so...
I'm completely married.
So work on that. Work on getting a relationship. Have you ever had a relationship?
Yeah, not, long and...
What happened with that?
Well, he just, started getting, clingy.
Ah, that's good that you didn't like that. That's healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy for him to have been so clingy.
Okay.
You know what, Jamie? This kind of stuff will take care of itself. You sounds like you have good judgment. It sounds like you're not going to run... Are you getting feedback in your headphones?
No.
I am.
You are.
that if you follow your instincts, take your time, that it's perfectly normal if you have these preoccupations. Just don't be too hasty, and understand that it shouldn't be just anybody. It should be somebody at least you want to have a committed relationship with, and thereby you won't feel so disappointed and empty if it's something that doesn't work out the way you want it to.
I'll tell you, there really should be a group called Virginity Finders or something. This is where groups of women get together and talk to young virgins.
Right,
and explain to them that you are going to get drunk at a frat party, lose your virginity at 16 to a guy who's technically a senior in high school, but it's only because he spent 8 years in Europe in the military and then came back. He's 29 years old now, and he basically drooled on you while Black Sabbath blared in the background, and it was the most miserable experience of your life, and you'd love to have it back, and you'll never get it back.
Almost every woman I've spoken to regrets when they give up their virginity. As long as it was under the age of 20. Almost everyone will say, I wish I had
20. You don't want to move that down to 18?
Certainly 18, but
they
I'm
all
surprised.
regret it. Why is that? Do they just feel compelled to say that they regret it?
Dan, help us out here. Are you there? Are you in there somewhere? Wait, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. All right.
What?
She's talking to somebody on the phone. I don't know who it is. But the point is this. I swear to God. Remember there was a show called Scared Straight?
Yeah.
In the late 70s,
right.
early 80s.
It was a program, wasn't it? I mean, it was a way of taking young people out and showing them what can happen.
It was a program that they ran on like PBS, and they showed it in all the high schools and whatnot. And here's what Scared Straight was for those of you who are too young to remember. They take troubled youths, males.
Drug addicts mostly.
Yeah, inner city guys that are getting into trouble.
Right.
They've, they're 15 and they've been popped a couple of times. They already have a little rap sheet going. And they take them into prison. And they put them in with the hardcore guys. And the guys talk about, give me your shoes, and they collect all the shoes, and they wipe themselves with the shoes, and then one guy, pops his eyeball out in front of the kids, and they say, if you were in here, you'd be my bitch right now, and blah, blah, blah. And the idea is to scare the crap out of these kids that are getting into trouble so that they can be scared straight. I think they should start this program for teenage women. Bunch of women like Ann and your wife and many other women get together and just talk about how horrible sex is and how they regret losing their virginity and how they can never have it back.
Just try to imagine what they would call that.
Scared not so straight. Scared lesbian. All right. Now listen, I don't have a zinger for every time you set me up. Yeah, Ann loves sex, but Ann, did you regret when you lost your virginity?
Absolutely not.
Hell, were you?
Yeah, but you paint
18.
such a rosy picture of your sexual past.
No,
It makes
I
me
was
sick.
with a serious boyfriend. I was 18.
Okay.
I knew it was the right thing.
All right.
It was the right person. It was wonderful.
All right, that's that.
And never too busy to come in and crap on a point. Producer.
Hey.
That's fine. I mean,
It's a valid point.
Is it not the case, though, that a lot of your friends regret what they did and when they did it?
Yeah,
it's
because
common.
a lot of women are afraid to say no, and they do it at the wrong time.
Or they really have an over-idealized fantasy about who the guy is they're with and what their relationship's going to be like.
Correct.
So.
All right. So, Ann, you would not be part of that group, but we'll have to get maybe Lisa and Sherry, women that are a little bitterer about losing their virginity, to come in and really scare them straight, as it were. All right. Angie, 17. I know you love sex, but all right.
I do.
No, not Angie.
Uh-huh.
What are you into?
Sex.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm. What do you think I got the deprivation shot for? But, on the 3rd...
I'm going for my wallet, Angie.
Likewise. I really was... Yes.
I knew
All right, we're going for the wallet.
Actually, before I called, I just said, I have a feeling like he's going to do this. But,
All right, hold on a second. Let me... all right, Drew, it's my last buck. Now, come on. Damn mercy on me this time. All right, you want to gamble now, or...
Well, first answer my question after.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. On 3rd February, I got the deprivation shot, right? And I'm supposed to be on my period when I do that, whatever. And it quit in 3 days worth, and I had a clear month, right? Nothing, no periods in the way or anything, right? And then my period happened, and it never quit. It was a real small, light brown discharge.
This is the second period after the shot was administered.
Mm-hmm. And I've
Real
had it ever
common.
since.
Real common. especially the first 3 months on the Depo-Provera. It's not uncommon for women to bleed the whole time.
Actually, I know. I heard about that from one of my friends. But the thing is that the third of this month it was supposed to quit, and I'm still having...
No, Angie, the whole time. 3 months of bleeding.
Oh, really?
That can happen. In fact,
The whole entire 3 months? Like
the whole entire, like every single day.
So like the third of this next month it should quit?
No. It may go on another 3 months. It's very hard to predict for whom it's going to stop and when. But bleeding, irregular bleeding, is the most common side effect or complaint of women who get that shot. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It doesn't mean that... make sure you take iron and make sure you're followed carefully by...
I'm taking my Centrum every day.
And make sure you're... I'm not sure if Centrum has iron, but...
It has it in there, I think.
And you want to make sure you're followed by a doctor carefully to make sure there's not something else going on causing this. You ought to have your thyroid checked. There are other things to check out to make sure that this isn't sort of precipitating something else, but it's a common complaint.
Angie, why did you go on the Depo-Provera?
Well, because on the first of this year, I lost my virginity. And I did not regret it. I've known him ever since I was in 6th grade.
All right, was your uncle?
No.
No. Okay.
It was somebody I really cared about, so it wasn't like, here I am, take me now, kind of thing. I'm going to lose it right now, it wasn't like that or anything.
Right.
But,
are you still with the guy?
No.
No.
He didn't call me. He stopped calling like he always did before that.
You knew the guy since you were in the 6th grade.
Yeah, every once in a while,
You lost your virginity to him, and then he stopped calling you.
The thing is that he has a touch of manic depression. And,
well, you got the manic part.
no, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
But I do have a sister that's weird. But aren't you going to bet about that?
I bet if she was on the line, she'd be saying the same thing.
Complexity, that's Angie. Really, her story must be long and varied.
All right.
Long and involved.
Angie, we're going to gamble on you.
Oh, okay.
All right?
I don't know what the hell. You go ahead.
All right. Well, we can do sort of potluck gambling, too. It doesn't always have to be about some form of abuse.
Right.
We could gamble as to how many bedrooms are in Angie's house. Hair color, size. There's many things we could gamble on. First thing I'd like to gamble on is I've probably dated her older sister at one point or another because it's just my spidey sense is tingling.
From the Valley.
Let's see, Mom and Dad together. What do you think, Drew?
I'm gonna just wing it. Real involved, very, very tightly knit family to begin with that fell apart all of a sudden. Probably a lot of resources that were lost. I just lost is what I pick up from it.
A lot of loss.
Yeah, just loss and chaos. Like things were great and then they're not so good, and then they're okay again, and then somebody becomes a problem. Like the stepdad becomes an abuser, and then not so good again. Something along those lines.
Parents still together?
No. Well, which set? I mean, it's probably second or third to go around for Mom, I bet.
Oh, really? I'm going with parents still together. Dad is completely tuned out and just sits like a stuffed trout head in the den and watches TV. Angie,
You're both so right.
we're
My
both.
dad died when I was 3.
Oh,
My mom has boyfriends, but none of them serious.
And some of those were kind of abusers and things.
No, for her maybe.
Yeah, and the original. Well, let me get this right. The original.
My sister's verbally abusive, huh?
The original family unit with your dad is super idealized.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
before your dad died.
And who knows what? And who knows what it really was? But it's idealized now. And then
Well, actually, I think Drew mainly got it though. He got it first. He got everything first, pretty much. So, but my sister is very verbally abusive. On Christmas, she choked me. She literally did. She went right behind me and did a little chokehold on me.
What do you consider physically abusive, Angie?
Well, that was before. Before that, she was very verbally abusive, and I took the phone away from one day, and she just got completely abusive that way then.
How old is she?
She's 15.
All right. There seems to be a lot of chaos in your life. See if you can get a little distance from that chaos, Angie.
Oh, don't worry. I got a car now.
No, that does not decrease chaos. Try to a stable relationship with somebody who is not chaotic. You're going to probably be attracted to all that chaos, and try to stay away from it.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, Angie. I really couldn't put my finger on what was coming off Angie, but it was a lot.
Yeah. She drinks until she barely has her senses about her, and then she can relax enough to have sex with me.
Yes, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew, the board-certified one. The phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. And that is the Sneaker Pimps we're hearing in the background. I wonder if anyone ever found out what happened to Liam. Producer Ann is not at her post. Engineer Mike, do you hear anything?
Hi, this is Kelly from the Sneaker Pimps, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, that was the lovely Kelly.
Carolla.
No, she didn't. He didn't do the Carolla. She squirted up a little bit, but not a whole bunch. Not as much as who? Clive Barker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, true. You got a. You're a doctor. You know the problem with you? Your head's full.
It's true, like a big mesa. You have to put any more information you have to put on top of that mesa, stuff falls off the other side.
It's never so full that you don't have an inane reference that no one understands. I was going to say like a beer stein with a big foamy head on it, and there's. That's it. You can dump as much as you want in, but that's it. It's pouring over the side and down the counter. There's no more room in there. It's all filled with, carbuncles and all the human parts and the cysts and pearly penile papules. There's just no more room for any information in Drew's head. That must be nice. I mean, it must be nice to be topped off that early. I mean, by the time you were like 27, it was full. Whereas when I was 27, there was a lizard chasing around a cricket. I mean, if you could have an actual visual of what was going in, a balloon of what was inside my head, it was a gecko lizard shooting its tongue out at a very elusive cricket that was zinging, sort of ricocheting around in there, or a hamster on one of those Habitrail exercise wheels. All right, Drew. What are we doing here? Oh, you want to speak to?
What?
I'm Laura. You know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Let's just do it. Say, hey, Laura. Laura, forget about the whole tower thing, please.
Hello?
Laura?
Yeah.
You goofball.
Oh, well, what fun is it now?
Oh, listen,
I wanted to say that I was dating this couple who I missed badly. I'm just setting up PR. This is the wonderfully talented Laura Keitlinger from Saturday Night Live, HBO specials, and the Loveline TV show. How are you?
Good, Laura. How are you?
I'm fine. Now I don't have a problem now, except that I miss you guys.
I was saying that's our problem too. We could see you
Drew,
anymore.
you never said anything about missing Laura.
Yes, I miss everybody we worked with over there. I really do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. They listen?
I know what Laura is.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Laura, we miss you too.
Well, anyways, but here's the thing. I'm going to Dublin tomorrow.
Yes.
And I want to know if you guys could watch my cats.
I love the kitties. And it'd be like a part of you that you left behind that I could touch in inappropriate ways and could never talk.
Okay, never mind.
Now, what are you going to Dublin for? I know what you're going to Dublin for.
The big Kilkenny Comedy Festival.
Right.
Which I'm a little nervous about because it's, 40 minutes on stage. And what if they don't like me?
Yeah, but everyone over there is loaded anyway.
I know, but if I did like 40 minutes here, I can always drive home.
Right.
There, if I eat it, maybe they'll beat me up afterwards.
What are you doing there? What is it, your stand-up thing? Or?
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Oh, could you imagine?
Oh.
Think about that. I mean, the only other time period in a career that's longer is maybe a boxer's. And even then, you get a minute to sort of regroup.
Exactly.
Oh, I could remember doing 10 minutes of stand-up and having it feel as if I was continuously getting my teeth cleaned or something.
Yeah, well, I've had sets that have been so bad that I've had what I think is an outer body experience, where I can actually see myself at the bar drinking a scotch and going, "Why does this suck so much? Why am I doing
Adam
this?"
was actually describing experiences where time slowed down and you could hear his heart beating.
Oh yeah. Yes, and the comic I killed is heart-pounding as well. Through the floorboards. Saying, never laugh, Lenore.
And by the way, for the sake of our producers, I want to clarify the reason we aren't seeing Laura is that we're on hiatus right now.
Yes, we is. And I hope we're back soon so that we can reunite. So, do you want to plug the gig and any people that happen to be in...
See me in Kilkenny. It's about an hour and a half from Dublin.
Right.
So come on out. Just go to the airport and then get your tickets.
Right, and it's what? How many hour flight is it?
9 hours.
I've heard it's about 14.
No.
Well, I've got a couple of stops.
Her agent booked her prop plane.
Oh, I see.
And when are you going to be back, young Laura?
I'll be back June 7th.
Well, come up here and see us, will you?
Okay, I definitely will.
All right.
We would love to have you on, and you can plug whatever upcoming stand-up gig you have. If they didn't kill you in Dublin,
I know. Well, if there's cable in Kilkenny, I won't be back. I just want to say I love you both.
We love you.
I had a great time, and I just want to drag this down because I'm a thinker.
Right.
Right. So we call it.
But listen.
Yeah.
If you're drowning, don't grab onto me and suck me down with you. I still got a radio gig.
All right. All right.
All right. Good luck in Dublin, Laura. And
Bye, Drew.
Goodbye. See you
as
next
soon
time.
as you come back, come see us.
Okay.
Take care. Quite a comedic talent, the Laura Keitlinger. I really appreciate her sensibilities and nice and relatively sane for a female comedian.
She really has a real quality on the radio too. I kind of like that.
All
If
right,
you should
all
ever get
right,
sick or anything, Adam, you gotta get rid of that whole male-female problem we've got here. Really nice.
What do you mean? I've said it many a time when people say, "What about the female voice?" I say, "Drew, no clear female voice than the one that comes out of Drew's mouth." Please. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful kind of way, Drew.
I understand.
Page 27.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
I want to thank you for taking my call. I'm in a sort of dilemma here, and I need some advice. To start out, a little bit of history about myself. I am, at 9 years old, I was raped by my best friend's dad at gunpoint, and...
Oh, my God.
Gunpoint?
9-year-old.
Yeah.
God, what is going on out there?
Yeah.
Why do you need a gun to rape a 9-year-old, by the way?
I don't know. He just, he told me to get... I went to go get my girlfriend, and he told me that they went to the store, but in actuality, he had beat up his wife, and her mom and them left the night before. I had no idea.
Oh, so he's not a good guy.
No.
All right, now I see.
So, and it was about 6 months later, a cousin of mine came and visited my mom and I for a 3-month vacation.
And he abused you, too.
He sexually abused me.
Right. I mean, once a victim, it's just amazing the way the people that are victimizers can sense out the victims.
Maybe they just hit everybody up and you don't really notice it, and most people just sort of brush them off.
Or beat them up or whatever, and the victims are so paralyzed by that powerlessness that they can't do anything to defend themselves.
Well, what I mean is please, girls, there's a rape call on the other line. The girls are having like a pajama party in the next room.
Well, they're sending us weird messages here. I almost had a seizure, one of them.
Here's what I want to say, Drew.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thought. Because you're always talking about victims being sniffed out by victimizers.
Right.
Again and again and again.
Right.
Maybe this happens all the time. Maybe, and you don't know it. Maybe the cousin that abused her, that victimized her the second time, maybe he put his hand on the lap of somebody else the day before.
Right.
And that person got up and moved.
Right. Or punch him in the face.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. That's right. Absolutely. That they may be blanketing. It doesn't necessarily mean, but then they also know to pursue it. I mean,
right. All right.
They feel okay pursuing it.
Okay. So, Paige.
Yes.
Did you bring any criminal action against this guy?
Yes, we did. We went to court. He went to jail for 14 years.
Good.
And
God, he must have been really drunk.
Yeah, I don't. I remember it, but it's.
Well, it's good that you reported him.
Well, yeah. When I was leaving, he told me that he would give me $20 if I didn't tell. But
you at least protect.
Really?
Yeah.
That was decent of him. I mean, wait a minute. I figured he would say, if you tell, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kill your mom.
Right. No, he's hard $20 bill meant a lot to a 9-year-old at that time when
So he's one molecule up the evolutionary chain above his cohort.
Just a molecule.
Yeah, so.
All right, so this is a horrible situation.
Paige, what have you done for yourself?
Well, I have seeked counseling. The cousin I'm speaking of, like I said, he stayed with us that summer. I went to his house. My mom would send me against my will. I would cry to his house for the following 2 summers.
Oh.
And he continued to do it.
Oh, it's like Tommy.
So I just, I have seeked counseling, and I didn't tell anybody about my cousin. I did tell people about what happened when I was 9.
Yeah.
I had a therapist, it was about 6 years ago. I was seeing for about a year and a half, and I was finally able to tell her about my cousin.
Yeah.
Which made me feel better. I don't dwell on it. I can, talk about it. And
What's your question for us?
my question is that, a year and a half ago, I told my mom, and I told my cousin's mother.
Good.
They both, my mom was kind of blew away. It explained all those nights when he was at her house, I'd sneak out of bed and sleep with her, And, it kind of dawned on her, and she cried, and she told me she was sorry.
How old is your cousin?
He was 5 years older than I was, so I was 9, 10, and 11.
Does he have kids now?
14, 15. Now, my problem is now that I've told his mom and my mom, they seem to brush it under the rug. No one's mentioned a thing. I hear that this person just moved to the state where my mom lives. I don't live there anymore. And, she's bending over backwards to help him, inviting him over for dinner, buying him dishes, miscellaneous, beds, stuff. And I just, it's...
Why don't you speak up about that?
I try to, but with my mom, when you try to talk to her, the truth hurts, and then you're badgering her, then you're being...
You know what? That's the way it goes. Too damn bad.
And I'm getting ready to go to this wedding next month, and he's going to be there.
Don't
and,
go.
I want to walk right up to him and just, give him a piece of my mind, but...
If you can do that without hurting yourself, if that's something you really want to do...
don't do it at the wedding.
Well, no,
the poor people who are, the caterers and everyone.
I understand that. But if she really wants to talk to her abuser, I wouldn't... Are you in a therapeutic relationship with somebody right now? Are you in therapy?
No, not right now.
I would hate to see... I mean, it could trigger all kinds of unpleasant, chaotic feelings that you would have difficulty containing and not acting out upon, unless this was something carefully... planned and prepared for.
If there's an open bar at the wedding, I smell trouble about an hour and a half into it. When the best man makes a toast. I think that's when it happens.
I'm not convinced that it would have anything dramatically important for you in terms of making you feel better. It might. I just don't think... I'm not convinced of it. I think it is clearly important for you to deal with your mom. I think it's excellent that you talked to her. I think that's where a lot of your problems are going to be directed anyway. You're going to be so resentful and angry at her for putting you in the position and not rescuing you from this criminal, this horrible person. I would rather see you focus more on getting him to protect him from other people, particularly kids, if he's going to get married, that sort of thing, and get your mom to get in line. I mean, her behavior is totally out of line.
Yeah, well, she's in denial, and it's understandable. But all right, yeah, I would not go to the wedding, and I would tell my mom in no uncertain terms that I'm not going to the wedding because of this cousin ogre. All right, and I was just thinking to myself...
By the way, don't take this, that's so he had so many problems back then, that's what he was before. No. Not unless he's had 10 years of intensive work, and then you'd want to talk to the therapist at that point.
All right. Drew, you seem to have a handle on this stuff. All right, Drew, sell the hell out of the next call, and make it a happy one.
All right, this is Michelle, she's 17, and when she starts to like someone, she's frightened, because she might get hurt. Fair enough.
No, pick another one, come on.
Wasn't
there anal sex one on there?
Sorry,
somewhere?
Adam, that's off the screen.
For Christ's sake. That's why we got to get to all the... Let's make anal sex a priority on this show, for Christ's sake, people.
Each time she messes around, her boyfriend passes out.
All right.
So she's still a virgin.
That's good. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Tomorrow night.
What was that?
Huh? I'm trying to be more animated on the show, Drew.
Somebody get through to you?
I was reading some email that says I don't say yes.
That wasn't being animated, though. I mean that yes was never very animated.
It wasn't?
It was all just kind of, yes, all right, I'm back.
Ow! Oh, you mean my old yes?
Yeah. So don't worry. That's not a call to be more animated.
Listen, I aim to please.
Right.
I get an email that says I need to work the yes and the here's the deal back into the equation. I'm all over that in a big way.
And by the way, being away from you for 3 days was bizarre.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I missed you for those 3 days.
Really?
Because we have been working together 7 days a week for a decade. How long has it been? It's been eternity.
It's way too long.
Yeah, and we've had 2 days off here and there, but 3 days.
Yeah, I called Drew's house today, spoke to his wife. She said, you want to talk to Drew? I said, no. Were you sitting there?
That goes without saying. No.
Oh, good. Would have been
But she said, tell Adam I will come after him with a sharp object if he doesn't buy his hotel room and air from her.
I was talking about Vegas, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm not going to Vegas. I was trying to settle an argument. All right, here's a little piece of email. Hey, Adam, how come you never give the email address on the air? Yeah, we don't do that. Go ahead and give the email address.
LUV191@AOL.com.
Here's the deal with the email. I try to read as much of it as I can. I don't respond to much of it because then I couldn't read that much of it. I'm such a piss-poor typist, and I read slowly. Whenever we read email, and anything longer than half a page, Drew, as soon as it comes up on the screen, Drew goes, scroll up. And I go, but wait a minute. I'm not, I don't know who it's from yet. Scroll up. I realize that Drew's read the entire page on the screen before I've even finished the top line. And then what I do is I go, hold on a second. Let me read it. And then I
slow down even more.
No, then I wait like a beat and a half until I think it's been long enough where a normal person would have read it. And then I scroll up because I can't take you and you and your degree bringing down my collar. But the point is I will read, especially now that I have a little more time, will read as much of it as I can possibly fit into my skull. I will then bring the good ones in, usually the ones calling me an a-hole, into the studio with me. We'll have a good time with it. As far as replying to it, it is difficult because, again, I could not read as much of it if I
Really,
took that
that's
time.
the reason we don't give out the email address, because we do not have the time to
Let
reply
me
to all
just
the
tell
email.
you, though, that we spend at least an hour a day on the computer.
With-
replying.
Really?
With an email?
Yes.
In addition to responding to the letters?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
How come you never bring in an email, though?
We reply mostly. Lisa does all the replying.
Oh, okay. Well, Lisa,
Bring in
if
stuff,
you have-
if stuff is interesting, Lisa, bring it in. We'll,
yeah. The a-hole stuff I want to read.
She goes through about 100 emails a day that you guys never even see.
all right.
Do you have to say that on the air, Ann? For
Well,
Christ's
you're
sake.
just making it sound like we don't reply.
We can't. I said I can't reply. All right.
But others are.
All right, but can't we give the
The more
illusion
educated ones are.
that Drew and myself have some connection to the show in some remote way when we're not here?
I thought we were reading all the emails.
Here's the bottom line.
I thought we were reading them all.
We have a whole bunch of underlings doing all the work while I get a pedicure and Drew yells
All
at
right.
the...
Now, we come in here every night and read the damn emails.
We do?
Seems like it.
What planet are you living on, Drew? When's the last time you came in here and read some email?
Every time you're over there doing it, I read them over your shoulder.
I do that once in a
Reading
while.
like 2 emails does not make you reading the email.
Drew, you've read 3 emails in the last 3 months.
On the air, but over the computer, it seems like I've read 500. Come on.
Oh, you are so delusional.
Huh?
Do you actually believe that, or are you just saying that so you
believe
sound
it.
better on the air?
No, I actually believe it.
Because you're either a liar or an idiot. It's got to be one or the other.
No, I
go for liar, by the way.
I may be exaggerating, but honestly, tell me we're not over there once or twice a week.
Once a week. I'm over there once or twice a week. You're
And
there.
I read over your shoulder. I do.
I don't. And then when I turn around to look for you, you then turn with me, so I don't see you.
I can. Well, you read like you've already described. You read a page. I can walk and go take care of an errand, and you're still on the same page.
Okay, let's not bring my literacy into the equation, Drew. Please, you don't have to attack. You know, I went to the free-range hippie school where reading was a no-no. The teachers figured reading will be obsolete by the time the lad gets into his teens. All right. Sarah, 19.
Hello?
Hey.
Oh, God, I finally got through. Oh, so cool. Okay, anyway, I've got kind of a weird problem here. My ex-boyfriend and I were kind of getting sort of serious, and I'm a virgin. I'm 19. And
you wouldn't have to come out to the Scared Straight seminar.
no, no, it's not that. It's my exes couldn't keep up with me. It was like it takes me a little longer to get like charged up than they do. But my last ex-boyfriend.
You mean to become amorous or
to get ready to go, kind of.
sexually?
Right. I just can't like see a guy walking down the street get turned on and like go.
Have sex with him on the sidewalk?
Right.
You'll have to actually go in behind a dumpster into the alley nearby or something?
Or in a porta potty or whatever.
That would be normal. Through all that, what you're saying is that you have to be. You need a lot of foreplay. That's normal.
Well, do you need foreplay, or do you need to know the person for a certain amount of time?
Both probably.
Both.
Sure, let her answer the
thing
question.
Is that my foreplay for them is the total sexual experience, because like I'm into like bondage and stuff.
How can you be a virgin and be into anything other than trying to?
I don't know.
Not be a virgin.
Called me a nymphomaniac or something, but
You want to lose another dollar?
What?
I'm out of money, Drew. I got plastic. I got stuff that's worth $1 on me. I'll give you like a filling or something. Oh, you want to gamble, Drew?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure, gamble.
Really?
I don't care, because this is very strange for me. Because my ex, okay, I was playing with him, and he ended up, before I was even getting ready to go to lose my virginity to him and the whole works, he ended up coming so hard he like shot over his head and into the wall. So, and then he just passed out, and I couldn't wake him up for like an hour and a half. So he was laying on my bed in the bonds, passed out. So I don't know. Is this?
You mean he went to sleep and you had trouble rousing him?
No, I mean it's like
became unconscious.
Fainted or something.
You still know him?
Yeah, and whenever I
Was he medically evaluated after that? It's not funny. I mean, I'm serious about this. He's
kind of funny.
In reality, she should have called the paramedics. That might have had some humor attached to it, but it is a pretty serious business we're talking about here.
Well, does that mean that sexually I'm like Hercules or something?
You weren't doing any asphyxiation type stuff or anything like that?
No, I was basically down on him and like licking him up and down, and I was going to.
Hold on a second.
And he came, and that was
all right.
And I passed out.
Drew doesn't like to hear the C word this early in the evening. Hold on a second, Sarah.
Okay.
All right, I got a Music Plus video rental card. I'm willing to plop down here. It's got to be worth $1. I swear, I think they charged me $3 just to get the card.
Wait a minute. You just happened to flip through your wallet and your driver's license fell out there. What is your middle name, and where did that come from?
Why don't you read what my middle name is?
Lakers?
Yes.
Explain.
I was renewing my license in the late 80s when the Lakers were making a run toward the NBA championship.
I hope you're just making this up as you go along.
No, I just, there was the blank. I don't have a middle name. There was the blank space, though, just burning a hole in me, just staring at me right there in the application. So I was thinking about the Lakers, so I just put that in there.
And that's not your legal name?
Well, I could be, yeah, I guess so. Oh, there it is. Who's going to question it? Let me tell you, if you got a driver's license with anything on it, people go for it. You could write on, if you could get on your driver's license, I'm 6'2". If I could get on there 8'2", people would look at you and go, I can't believe you're 8 feet tall. And I'd say, no, I'm 8'2". And they'd go, man, because I'm 6'4" and I'm taller than you. No, look, do you see the license? It's 8 feet. Amazing.
Same with every woman. We take about 20 pounds off.
Yeah, women.
I'm 105, by the way.
Yeah, women. It's like a funhouse mirror. They stretch out about 2 inches and they lighten up about 20 pounds. Beautiful. I'd love to work at the DMV and have a scale. What's your weight, sweetheart? 109. Oh, it is? Would you come back here for a second? We got a scale. We just had it calibrated.
Hey, Sam.
Today. Hey, Sam, we have to have someone monitor this. And, of course, this is perjury if it's wrong. We will give you 9 ounces one way or the other. So, please. I could see women. They would be spitting, taking their shoes off, trying to pull fillings out. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? This is a great candid camera idea.
That sounds fun.
What were we doing, Drew? We're trying to gamble?
Benny, you put something else out here. What is this?
It's a Music Plus video rental card. All right, here's what we're going to do.
That's your $1?
I don't have $1. I'm out of money now. We got to go to break. We'll come back, and we'll try to figure out what's up with Sarah, the virgin nymphomaniac.
The voice.
Hey, yeah, hey. It is the Loveline. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew here. Stephen Baldwin of the Baldwins in tomorrow. Oh, God, I wish I was one of those Baldwins. Tomorrow night. And then Tyra Banks come Wednesday. She was on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit line. Oh, yes. All right. All right. Very ultra-hot Tyra Banks will be in here on Wednesday, and we will be back in 10 seconds. The name of the show is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. And when we left off, we were speaking to Sarah. Sarah's 19. Sarah's a virgin and a nymphomaniac who's into S&M.
And by the way, the story she told us, I really have to wonder whether that really would be considered a virgin. And think about that. That question.
She licked her boyfriend to such a point that he ejaculated over his head and onto the wall. In which case, the little help call comes out. I've never had to do that. I'm lucky if I hit the ground if I'm standing. But he went and then passed out for 2 hours while she tried to wake him up. And listen, if anyone's out there who I have a sexual experience with, and I pass out, and you can't wake
cuffs or something.
Oh, was he? Sarah?
Yes.
Was this guy in handcuffs?
Yes.
He was?
Yeah.
How did you know that, Drew?
She said that.
She did?
I said that, yeah.
Huh. I was so immersed in the whole distance ejaculation part of the call that I missed the crucial handcuff.
It's okay.
All right. So now, why is it that you're a virgin?
Well, I've never had intercourse, but I've done like oral sex and stuff like that.
All right.
But I've never...
God has taken you off his virgin list, by the way. God keeps a list.
Well, he's probably taken me off a bunch of his lists, but...
What do you mean?
Like the heaven list.
Why?
Probably.
Why?
Well, because this is not the first time this has happened.
How old were you when you began all this stuff?
Oh, God, 14?
Yeah.
13?
And how old was the person you were with when that all started?
I think he was like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And why would a 17-year-old feel it appropriate to be able to do this kind of stuff to a 13-year-old?
I don't know.
What happened to you before 13?
True, she said 14, didn't she?
Yeah, 13 is what. Let me translate. 13.
All right, so her partner being 16 means 17.
Right.
And her being 14 means 13.
Would that be accurate, Sarah?
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And what I'm building the case for is that Sarah was somehow an appropriate victim for this damn 17-year-old to act out on. And our big question is, what happened to make you that way? And,
basically, he came up to me...
No, forget the 17-year-old. What happened before that? Let me ask you this. This is an interesting question. Did you have a long illness when you were a child?
No.
No. Okay. Were you ever physically abused?
No.
What happened? Why at 13 the 7-year-old feel he could act out like this?
I don't know. My best friend says I was born with it.
With what?
With the nymphomaniac thing.
No.
Well, if her best friend says she was born with it, Drew, then by golly, your best friend. Sheila, who chews a lot of gum, teases her hair, and has pictures of John Stamos up on her bedroom ceiling. That one?
No.
Okay. All right. So listen, you're virgin. Do you want to lose your virginity?
Yeah, I've been trying for the past couple of years now, but it seems that any partner that I try with, he doesn't seem to be able to keep up with me.
What kind of BS is that? What are you talking about? Keep up with you?
I don't know. Basically, by the time I'm ready to go, he's...
How long does it take for you to be ready to go?
Well, between half an hour and 2 hours, depending on what the situation is.
And by the way, that is not nymphomania then.
But
it's really somebody that's preoccupied defensively with sex, but really when it gets down to it, is not into it.
Yeah, you are. You listen. If you wanted to have sex with a guy, you'd have sex with him.
Yeah, but I'm more into like the foreplay beforehand and then just diving into it.
No, you rob him of his vital fluids knowing that that's also going to kill his resolve. Yeah, as soon as a guy fires off a warning shot over the bow and it hits the wall behind him, you know that's about it. The cannon will be idle for a few battles to come.
See, that's the thing. I mean, I don't try and do that stuff. I mean,
All right, Sarah. Listen, what do you want us to tell you?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if this is normal.
No.
Oh, great.
Look into it. The whole history, the whole story is not normal. There's something up.
Well, if I don't look into it, does that mean that I could maybe end up killing somebody?
All right, Sarah, look into everything now. I want you to examine every aspect of your life. Are you living at home?
No, I'm out on my own.
Going to junior college, or?
No, I'm basically working full time, and
Where do you work?
I work
at a dairy.
What?
No, where do you work?
I work at an embroidery shop.
Okay, look into that too. I don't know what you wanted us to say. Just look into everything. There's something very bizarre about this. Okay. Mark, 24.
Yeah, hey, Adam. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, I got a question for Dr. Drew.
Are you loaded now?
Oh, I just smoked first bong of the night.
The first one does this to you.
Yeah.
How long have you been smoking pot?
Oh, about 14 years now.
14 years, and you can't pull it together after a bong load?
Oh, man, I smoke one a day, man. That's all I need right before I go to bed.
Yeah, I know, but here's what I'm saying. Most guys I know who have been toking for, 10 years or more can toke out and hey, they go ahead and juggle when they couldn't even juggle before. I mean, they can pull it together.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, reverse tolerance. I mean, have you ever heard of that, Dr. Drew?
You're getting more intoxicated by it?
I mean, yeah. And have...
It's called better weed.
You sure? Yeah, you sure it's not the quality of the stuff you're getting?
Definitely.
Well, there is a certain amount of damaging effect of this drug on the brain, and people have sort of less ability to withstand the intoxicating effects with time sometimes. But for the most part, people are less affected by the motor intoxicating effect, are less euphoric from the drug, and are more irritable, more depressed, more forgetful.
Yeah. And, 3 years ago, I became a paraplegic, and I've noticed a very, it feels like, I don't know, like half my body.
Are you on baclofen?
Baclofen.
Well, that's what's adding to the.
And
that is what's
Is this Larry Flint? No.
That is what's adding.
No.
That is what's adding to the intoxicating effects of this drug.
All right. Well, wait a minute. How did you become a paraplegic?
Gunshot.
Oh, gunshot?
Yeah.
Who shot you? You or your friend?
No, some homeless guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Asked him if he wanted to smoke a joint. Turned around, got the joint out of my pocket, and was shot.
Really? In the back?
No, upper chest.
Well, that paralyzed you from the waist down?
No, from the chest down.
Chest down.
You were, did it get into your, through your chest and in your spine or something?
Severed my spinal
cord.
T3, T4.
All right. And any chance of any recovery?
No.
Please, Drew, I'm trying to build the guy up a little.
No.
Okay. Not from where he is, yeah.
No, I've gotten over the depression of the...
All right, so you're not only on the pharmaceutical stuff, but you're on the weed.
Oh, yeah.
And what are you doing with your life, Mark?
Huh?
What are you doing with your life?
Going to college.
Well, you are?
Yeah.
All right, you can go to junior college, by the way.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's fine. You have my full endorsement.
If you really want to get it together, get some help with this drug situation. And the Valium and if you're on pain meds and the pot, all this is part of the addictive diathesis.
Yeah.
You have a family history of alcoholism?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do agree with you when you say that. I mean, that's...
And Mark,
totally true.
this thing is going to bring you down.
No, I mean, it doesn't bring me down.
It is going to. It may not at this point, but it is going to.
I think it is. It's starting to. But Mark, listen. All right, here's the deal. 'Cause you know I speak the truth.
Right.
Thanks for that endorsement, Mark. you have a lot of hurdles to overcome in life here. I mean, you're confined to a wheelchair. You've lost the use of your legs forever, as far as we know. And that's a tough way to go through life. You have an uphill challenge to some regard. You're going to have to work a little harder than someone who was not hobbled and forcibly confined to a wheelchair. And you're making it that much harder with all the drug intake. You know what I mean? There are plenty of plenty of people and plenty of wheelchairs who do plenty good for themselves. They have great-looking girlfriends who aren't confined to anything. I don't know how they pull that off, but they do. They make tons of money. They're athletic. They drive cars. They do everything. So, Mark, don't make things harder on yourself than the bum already did. All right, Mark?
Yeah.
All right.
The tough thing about this kind of situations, these drugs tend to distance them from the reality and from the feelings, and they work for a while in terms of helping them manage the trauma. But ultimately, that progresses, and then that takes them down. That's what prevents them from getting on with their life and having meaning and happiness.
All right. Michelle, 17.
Hey, Adam. I just want to tell you that I think you're absolutely hysterical. I think you're so funny.
Really?
Yes.
Why,
absolutely.
thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think you're just funny that last call.
It's often it's very difficult the life of a comedian here on Loveline because you got the fish tank. The aquarium that I have to look through here that is Lisa, Sherry, engineer Mike, and producer Ann, who are basically, you might as well just stare into a koi pond if you want to get some response. Because you don't get anything from these people.
What do you want us to laugh hysterically at every one of your analogies that we listen to night after night after night?
Ann, here's what Ann does.
We're a tough crowd now.
Let me tell you what Ann's expression is.
Way to sell the show, Ann.
Ann's expression is this. You know when you take a bite out of something at a restaurant, you think to yourself one of two things. Either this meat has gone bad or this isn't what I ordered. And then you look back down at the plate for a second. That is Ann's usual look. That kind of, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I know it's not good.
You know what, Adam? When I do laugh, you feel all that much better.
That's true. It's a huge payoff.
It's a real reward.
It's like an alcoholic father who withholds his love, but once in a while rises to the occasion after a six-pack and says, "Come here, I love you." And then there's Drew, who just he doesn't care.
Grouper in the tank.
The grouper in the tank.
Deep down inside, I'm laughing, but I just don't want you to get a big head.
All right,
you were just such a normal guy when
I
you first
appreciate
started
you
on the show,
keeping
and
me in
so
check.
sweet.
I know. I'm spinning out of control.
You know.
All right, Michelle, what's going on with you?
Okay. It seems okay. Every time I like a guy and he starts to like me back, I get absolutely terrified and I get so afraid, like I make myself sick. I can't eat anything. I vomit. It's terrible.
Have you ever had a relationship?
No. And the first thing that goes through my mind is, oh, he's going to try and hurt me or he wants something from me.
Probably true. Reasonable instincts.
How old is he? 18? All right. Good impulse. However, there are plenty of guys out there that are perfectly willing to treat you like the queen that you think you are and can carry on in a relationship without any problem and give you years or if not months of happiness. So what happened?
You guys want to bet on it? You'd have a field day.
This is too easy. Something happened. I don't know where your dad is and what he did to you, but he did something.
It wasn't my dad.
Neighbor.
Actually, my mom never married my dad. She left him when I was 2, and she married one of his friends. And he was my stepdad. But then they got divorced when I was 9. But he was just the best dad ever. I'm closer to him than I was my dad. But from the ages between 3 and 10, I was manhandled by 5 different guys. And when I was
who were these guys?
One of them was my friend's cousin.
Manhandle. What does that mean exactly?
Touching me where they should not touch me,
Okay.
and one guy shoved his foot up me. I was laying down. It was at a daycare, and I was laying down. And
how did you react to these things?
Well, I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I told everybody. I told my parents. I told daycare teachers, and either they wouldn't do anything or.
Did you ever strike back in any way? Fight back?
No.
How old was the
perpetrator.
I was going to say pedophile, but pediophile. How old was the guy who put his foot in you?
He was, let's see, I was about 7. He was about 10, 11.
Mm-hmm. Why is it that nobody believed you? Or nobody took any action?
I don't know, because I guess they think, they're young, they're just, I don't know. They just really didn't do nothing about it.
Feet will be feet, Drew. I think that was their approach to the whole thing. All right, but here's the deal. Here's what I can't figure out, and Drew can't figure it out either. I know because I speak for Drew. If you had this great relationship with this stepfather, yet...
Stepdad left too, though.
I know, but in these years, you know what I mean, Drew? Like, it's like saying, I have a great relationship with my kids or my girlfriend's kids or whatever it is. Meanwhile, she's being, passed around like a joint at a Doobie Brothers concert between all these guys, traumatizing her. Where is stepdad during this? How come he doesn't know about it? What's going on there?
If people didn't know me, they would take exception to what I'm about to say, I think. But I'm going to say that the manner in which she interpreted these transgressions were overdone. That you know me, I'm usually the first to say that the woman is being abused, but that she already was so terrified at guys coming at her in any way and hurting her, the dad leaving, the stepdad leaving, all these losses, that these things look much bigger now and are actually not as big as the real fact of the emotional connection she had with her dad and her stepdad, which ultimately met with abandonment.
Not fascinating. Could that be true, Michelle?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you making a little more out of it than it was? Was the kid just like playing footsie and slipped, or was he screwing around?
No, these guys were not. No, let's not make light of what they did. I mean, it was bad. Okay, but the fact that these are the prominent memories that she has, rather than the feelings. You must have some pretty unpleasant feelings about your relationships.
Yeah.
with your dad and stepdad. I mean, not so much that they were bad relationships, but how they ended must be very painful.
Oh yeah, when my mom left my stepdad, I mean, he was like my best friend. We got along so good, and she basically one day she just said that we were going to leave, and like 2 days later we're in Texas.
See, I think the memories are displacements a little bit of something else.
All right. Well, either way, you were torn away from important men in developmental parts of your life, and that's what this is.
Yeah, and now you're afraid that the next guy you attached to is going to leave, and of course.
Right. Simple psychological math.
And the really horrible thing is she's probably going to find some guy that will.
Yeah.
And let's face it, all those relationships at age 17 are bound to eventually end. I mean, she's going to go through something like, I dare say, like what you went through. I'm sorry. But where you get attached to somebody and then it's idealized and then it ends, like all those relationships do at that age, and it's traumatizing, overwhelming.
You talking about with me, my first girlfriend?
Yep.
I only idealized it after we broke up.
That's right.
I never did while I was in the relationship.
You probably treated her like hell during.
I prefer crap. Hell. Please, Drew. Debbie, 34.
Hi.
The important thing is I can look back on the whole experience now and cry. Sorry, Debbie, go ahead.
Okay. Hi. I wanted to let you know, too, one thing is I like Mountain Dew.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm putting together a little profile here. Say the word that starts with a V that would pertain to a woman's genitalia for a second, would you?
Vagina.
Oh. All right. All right. Just checking.
Okay.
And how much education do you have, Debbie?
Oh, I graduated high school and I went through a couple years of college, but I never finished.
Mm-hmm. Junior college?
A community college.
All right, that's junior college.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And then what? Well, what kind of job do you currently hold down?
Right now, I stay home and take care of my children.
Uh-huh. What were you doing before that?
I was in geriatric health care.
Uh-oh. Sounds like it may have taken some training. Just mopping up bedpans and whatnot?
Well, no, I was actually, the 2 years I went to college were for the RN.
Uh-huh.
Well, it wasn't quite 2 years, that's why I didn't make it.
I see.
My little boy got sick, so I had to stop.
Is he okay?
But the reason I was calling is about my little girl.
Is your boy okay?
This house is a mess sometimes, it seems like. But
Is your boy okay?
he's disabled.
What happened to him?
Oh, he was born with lots of orthopedic problems. He
No.
has some heart problems. He has emotional problems. He has a lot of problems.
How old is he now?
10.
All right. And your girl,
daughter.
how many children do you have?
2.
Okay, and your daughter's got some stuff going on too.
Yeah, last summer she was molested. And we prosecuted the guy and everything. He's in jail and all that, but she won't talk about it. And I'm worried for her.
You know that's normal for a 12-year-old. It really is. They want to believe everything is okay. They want to push it aside. They'd rather not deal with it. They don't have a lot of the sort of internal strength to deal with some of the feelings that might be attached to this.
Yeah, she gets like this cold,
Detached.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
look on her face
Yeah, yeah.
when you want to try to talk about it. And you
Yeah.
know, I listen to you guys on a lot, and I hear a lot of these kids talking about being molested when they were kids.
Yeah.
You know, now they're older, and they have all the problems.
Well, at 12 is right at the border. I mean, she's not a child, at
She's
least.
13 now.
And you should really get her into some kind of, I mean, I don't know if resources are an issue to you, but there's all kinds of usually community available rape resources and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I started her into some therapy, but
Good.
she's just not opening up at all about
Well,
it.
then talk to the therapist though about it. Make sure it's a good, well-trained professional.
Mhm.
Talk to the therapist. Don't push on your daughter too hard. Okay,
Well,
let
that's
her.
what I'm afraid. You know, I don't know if I should push.
Don't push.
You know
Don't
what I mean?
push. Talk to the therapist and ask that person how to handle this and what you should be doing. Don't intrude. I think that's the best advice. Give her plenty of open-ended opportunity to let stuff out, but don't intrude.
Just don't push it. I mean, because
She's been intruded on in the worst possible way. Any further intrusions are going to create that detached quality that you felt.
I think she feels guilty.
Yeah. Then keep telling her that. Then keep telling her how you feel. But it's your feelings, not hers, you're talking about.
The whole house is just
And
crazy.
I mean, young people do tend to take responsibility for these things, and it has nothing to do with her. She was the victim of a violent crime. Just make that clear to her,
Yeah,
and that
'cause-
you understand that, and that you are available.
My husband and I, he works a lot, and we're trying to, but it's like it's messed up the whole house.
Debbie,
Yes.
God bless you for concerning yourself with this and being appropriately worried about it and getting your daughter the care that she needs. You got your hands full with both kids. Just keep going, keep working at it, and one day you'll get on the other side of this. But not right
I hope
now.
so.
Not right
I
now.
just don't want to hear her at 17 saying,
No,
she's likely to act out along
Those
the
kids
way.
didn't have moms like you, Debbie.
Okay.
I'm going to put aside the whole Mountain Dew thing for just one moment. I'm going to get past that, and we'll bury the six pack here. And I will say this: most of those 17-year-olds who call us on a nightly basis and are all effed up are because their parents denied what Uncle Lou did. They said it didn't happen, or it did happen, but it's okay. They push it away. And here's the situation, Debbie. I know it's just let it sink in. Your daughter will be fine just by virtue of the fact that you're calling us this concerned. Mm-hmm. And she's going to have some tough times and maybe some nightmares, but the point is
will
that
act out.
she
Teenagers
will
act
act
out.
out.
Teenagers
Sure,
act
she
out
probably
their
would have
feelings.
acted out anyway. But the situation is Debbie is a concerned parent who will stay on top of this, and the daughter will be fine based on the fact that she has Debbie for a mom.
Someday.
All right, let's see if we can get away from the Mountain Dew, and we'll be back.
I don't think they're aware of how much they.
Line. Damn Mike. Hey, this is Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew and Stephen Baldwin tomorrow night. Then Tyra Banks, and then I don't know who else. Someone big. I'm
Tom
sure.
Arnold's he coming Thursday?
Oh yeah, Tom Arnold.
We hope so, yeah.
We hope so.
Don't worry about it, guys. Just worry about tomorrow.
One day at a time, Adam.
All right, Ann. I'm sorry.
What's he worrying about today, Adam? Ann.
Yeah, what's that about, Ann? What do you mean don't worry about it? Nothing?
I'm dealing with it.
Oh, you're dealing with some Tom Arnold thing? Is that what's going on?
Everything's fine.
It must
Okay.
be. It must be about the publicist, or she would be telling you.
No, everything's fine.
All right, so Tom Arnold
yeah, we're
Thursday.
just waiting to confirm a date.
Okay, fine.
A date, not necessarily Thursday.
Okay. All right, listen, let's not turn this into a big bitch fight
Do your
here.
job.
Bring Laura Keitlinger on when she gets back from
Oh, I
Bubbling.
can't wait.
All right.
All right. Laura, 28.
Hi. I just had a couple questions for Dr. Drew.
Yes, ma'am.
I had an annual pap smear done last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a call from the gynecologist
Mhm.
that I have dysplasia.
Mm-hmm.
I got kind of freaked out thinking I had cancer, and I called the American Cancer Society hotline, and they said, it suggests the presence of cancer. They couldn't tell me.
No. It's before cancer. It's pre-cancer.
I'm sorry.
Pre-cancer.
But
He would say carcinoma in situ or some kind of cancer if there was cancer. If it's dysplasia, it's the things you look for to pick up evidence of something you want to screen for before cancer should develop. So they're probably recommending a colposcopy for you.
yeah, I'm having it done.
Yeah, and that's if there is something there that is precancerous or actually cancerous, they'll find it then and take it out. And that'll be the end of that.
What do they do? What's the colposcopy?
It's like a telescope, basically, that goes all the way. You look close up at the cervix, and you biopsy things and take things off that look suspicious. And this is why you have the pap smears. So when these abnormalities come up, you take them off, so they don't become cancer.
And what is percentage of women who have this and it turns out to be cancer?
It's like 85, isn't
No,
it? 88%.
you are ahead. You are not going to get cancer because they have caught this. Even if there is some localized cancer, they will be able to remove it all.
Okay.
Okay. This is why
I
you have
believe
the
that
pap
most
smears.
women have cancer
Cervical
between their
cancer
legs
is
somewhere.
Cervical cancer is very common in young women. Is why you get the pap smear. Don't freak out when you have an abnormal pap smear. That is why you're getting it, to scrape off and remove all these abnormalities before they should evolve into a cancer.
I have another question.
Hold on a second. Is this after Dr. Pap smear?
What?
Pap smear.
What?
Is
The
it
name?
after Dr. Paps or something?
Papa Nicolau.
Papa Nicolau?
Yeah.
All right. Is there some sort of procedure that could be named after me? I would like
Well-
the idea of years, after I'm dead and gone, my name being associated with some sort of vaginal procedure.
How about? I was thinking more like an anal procedure for you.
Oh, okay.
Coroloscopy.
Coroscopy or something, yeah. Something like that. Something for my children.
I'll think of it.
To change your name because of. All right,
But
Laura.
Laura, do you have warts? Was that discussed? The wart virus.
Oh, no.
Were you aware that you had anything like that? Is that a possibility?
No.
Are you sexually active?
Well, yeah, I'm married.
Okay, so there's a possibility that warts are involved. You have very common warts, and
Well, I've been married 5 years, and all of my pap smears before this have been normal.
with no evidence. Were they done by a gynecologist or by a regular? Okay.
Yes.
Does your husband do a lot of traveling?
Oh, please.
All
Don't
right.
even.
Listen,
don't
I
even.
had to ask.
No.
Okay.
All right, so get the colposcopy and.
Okay, can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
They will do a biopsy with this colposcopy, and I've had one done. I don't know if I just have a really low tolerance for pain, but
You had a colposcopy done before?
no, I haven't had the colposcopy done, but I've had a biopsy done before, and it was
But why did you have a biopsy if all your pap smears have been negative?
well, this was before I was married.
You can check out whether or not the papilloma virus is involved with all
I've
this.
had a lot of problems, with pregnancy.
You're not a DES baby or anything like that, are you?
No,
Mm,
no,
okay.
but I've had C-sections where the first C-section was horribly done, and they left placenta in me for
Oh my
about
goodness.
a year.
Oh my gosh.
The second,
What does that do to you?
Give you a lot of pain, I bet.
yeah, it was horrible.
Pain and bleeding.
Yeah, and the second one, after my second child, I developed hemolytic anemia.
Wow.
Had transfusions.
Oh my goodness.
So I've had a lot of problems
Oh.
with pregnancies. They've basically told me not to get pregnant anymore, which
It's
I don't
hard.
plan to
Yeah.
because that's just my history.
Well, then there's a flip side to that is good. That is, if indeed there is anything even questionably invasive when they do the colposcopy, I'll know it's not a great alternative, but hysterectomy will not at least be such a devastating alternative as it could be if you hadn't had children already.
I got to tell you, ladies, I don't want to make you hate men more than you already may, but 32 years, same penis, same scrotum.
No problems.
Same prostate?
Same prostate, same penis, same scrotum.
You will pay your
no
dues.
difficulties.
You will pay you will serve your time. In about a decade, it will start. I'm sorry, it will. Especially all that masturbating. For God's sakes, it's gonna be a mess.
I thought that was.
Yeah, there's hygiene and then there's compulsion.
I'll tell you, Drew. We could be talking about literary greats, and you would work my masturbation in some way or form.
I would. It's the first time I've ever brought it up, by the way.
Oh, please. That's
hard for me to do. Seriously, it's uncomfortable to bring that stuff up.
All right, but you felt you had to.
Yeah.
God bless you for overcoming your fear and bringing up my masturbatory habits, Drew. You're more man than I. Kate, 28.
Hey, Adam.
Hey.
I was just calling about your Mountain Dew comment.
Yes, nectar of the tards, I like to call it.
Well, I'm a veterinarian, so I think I'm fairly intelligent.
Oh, kicked out of med school, were you?
Nope.
Wouldn't let you handle the people, would they?
Actually, some friends of mine that didn't make it into vet school
Went to med school. Yeah, veterinary school is very difficult to get into.
Sure, it's all those different animals.
Yeah, and there's,
people are all the same.
the big thing is there's a lot fewer vet schools, so
Right.
there's more people per spot.
I remember friends in college trying to get in. A lot of it depended on what state you were from.
Yeah.
If you're from California, a little easier. Massachusetts, a little easier. But everybody else was screwed.
I wouldn't want to be a vet because vet is like, well, we got your dog in here. He's got some worms in his bowels, and it's going to be $1,500 for the surgery. In which case the guy goes, how much to put him to sleep? That's $11. Go ahead and put Rusty down. Because we'll cost $11 to put him down and another $10 to get rid of him, and then we can get a pup for $150, and we'll save ourselves a grand. I wouldn't like anything where they had the choice between putting the person down. Could you imagine how much business you would lose as a doctor, Drew?
I'm surprised you don't grab that as an opportunity of making your ideal society.
Yes, I think we should put people down. Very, very good point. All right, so Kate, you drink Mountain Dew.
And Sunny D.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you from?
Oh, you need a man badly.
The Midwest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? Do you really have it in for yourself, don't you, Kate? You cannot possibly like the taste of either one of those beverages. What happened to you? Were you beaten?
Nope.
Do you have a deviated septum and some sort of problem in which you cannot perceive taste? What is up with you?
Nope.
Really? No molestation? You're not penetrated with an orange juice container at some point in your life? No. The local Coke distributor never felt you up?
All right, no. She's saying no.
I cannot believe this.
No, I started drinking Mountain Dew in high school because it had the most caffeine.
Right. I can understand drinking it for sort of medicinal purposes.
What about this Sunny Delight, though? Explain that.
Yeah, explain the Sunny Delight.
I like Sunny Delight.
You like it like a guy who likes heroin likes heroin? Do you need it or do you like it?
It's okay.
Would you rather have a glass of fresh squeezed orange juice or some of that god-awful Sunny Delight?
This is the Midwest, not California.
That's true.
That's
Good
right.
point.
Oh.
There you go.
That's true.
That's the closest thing they get to orange juice.
Let me tell you, someone pulls out a jar of Tang where Kate's from, and it's a mob scene.
I like Sunny D better than Tang.
All right. You don't have a man, though, do you?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Oh, I was told to tell you, I have whippets, and I was very impressed when you said something about Drew's wife looking like a whippet, that you even knew what that breed was.
Oh, I said your wife looked like a whippet?
You said you were talking about wanting a St. Bernard one day.
Oh, yeah. You don't like women that are high maintenance.
No, and let me tell you about what whippets do. Whippets smack you in the nuts. This is the dog. No, whippets jump. They're very hyper dogs.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're little tiny greyhounds.
Yeah, they're like miniature greyhounds.
Yeah.
They're not that small, though. I mean, they're smaller than a greyhound, but they're not that small.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have claws.
Oh.
And they're very rambunctious. And they get up. I have a friend, Chris, who has a whippet, and every time I go into the guy's front door, the thing socks me in the nuts. Am I right, Kate?
Find it for you.
Maybe that's why she doesn't have a man.
No, actually, mine are sleeping right now, being very quiet.
Really?
Never done that to anybody.
All right.
He's just trained his dog to get you.
Don't get so wrapped up in the animal kingdom that you don't find yourself a good piece of man every once in a while, Kate.
Well, I haven't been out of school that long, and it's rather difficult to have a relationship.
All right, I'm just saying.
So hard for women that you know what? Professional women have got a tough road.
Yes, she's so distraught about her lack of sexual activity that she drowns her sorrows in Mountain Dew and Sunny Delight every evening. And I'll tell you, I'll bet you that floating next to that ice cube in the Sunny Delight is a little slick of Kate's tears. All right.
I don't go in for these backdoor shenanigans.
Hi, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew here. And if Mountain Dew is nectar of the tards, then Sunny Delight is elixir of the damned. Yes, that's what I will. That's what I'll tell that. And then don't get me started on that.
Took you a 4-minute break to come up with that. Huh?
That Fruitopia. They should be sued for using the word fruit in Fruitopia. All right. Oh, Kiana.
Yeah.
You're 13. You've been on hold for 122 minutes and 29 seconds.
Oh, my God.
That's almost an hour.
Almost 2 hours.
Well, this question is really for anyone that really wants to answer it.
Isn't that over 2 hours?
It is
sir?
over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Genius.
I was half asleep. That's when you called my name. I was like, oh, my God. Well, I went to this party a couple of days.
Ken, I'm sorry, but Carrot Top is on the hotline. We got to go.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Carrot. I call him Top, because we're tight. All right, Ken, what's going on?
Okay. I went to this party a couple of days ago, and I met these two guys. They were very cute. And I started talking to one of them, and he was very nice and everything. But then I found out that I was attracted to the other one.
Hmm.
And well, the other one had a girlfriend, and he.
Did you know that at the time?
Uh,
Did you know that at the time?
No. When I asked him about it, he said, "Yeah, I kind of sort of do." And I was like, "Okay," but that only made me want him more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, was that kind of normal for me, to want him more because of him having a girlfriend?
It is natural. When I was in junior high, I used to say I was married, just to see if I could drum up any action.
Yeah, there is something about that women are attracted to that sort of thing.
I don't know why. Okay, but then they were telling me that, he's no good. He's like a dog.
Here's, hold on a second. I was just trying to think of the difference between young men and young women. Here's the difference, right, in a nutshell. Young women are more attracted to a guy who has a girlfriend or a wife, and young men are more attracted to a woman who's passed out because she's had too much beer.
But the funny part about it is that right away I didn't like the girl because she had the boy I wanted.
Right.
She was a bitch. Right.
Well, I didn't call her that, but yeah, that's how I was thinking.
I think these are all natural, instinctive, at least given our Western culture such as it is, that these are natural sorts of impulses that women seem to come up with. I mean, men have their own set of impulses that are irrational, and women have theirs.
Yeah, but the people who go to school with him, they were like, "Nah, he's such a dog. He's like a player and stuff."
All right, but learn to be more rational with these instincts and contain them a little bit, and know that they are not. They're misleading, and be careful. And,
well, she is containing them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you're still preoccupied with this guy. I mean,
because I now I just have this totally big crush on him. I mean, I just called the guy today. I called another guy today and told him to get his number.
Well, understand that you are probably getting yourself in trouble on multiple levels. One is he has somebody else. Two is everybody's telling you what a jerk he is.
Well, he's sort of every time someone asks him about her, he's sort of kind of he's like.
Yeah, that's because he's a jerk, because he doesn't want anybody to think he has a girlfriend.
And let me tell you something. If you were able to win this guy away, the player who has a girlfriend.
Guess what he'd say about Kiana, the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, in about a week.
Yeah, I kind of have a girlfriend, maybe. Well, really not. We're just going out.
Oh, okay.
Right, he would be screwing around on you.
Yeah, because that was probably going to be my second question, which is should I go for dating him? Or
well, but listen, Kiana, it is a catch-22, as they say, which means it's a lose-lose. Because if you go after him and he says, what are you talking about? I have a girlfriend. I'm very faithful to her. I cannot carry on with you. Then you lose. And if you go after him and he says, I have a girlfriend, but I'm willing to dump her for you, then you lose, too. It's just you'll lose in a couple of weeks when he starts dating your friend.
Oh, okay.
I find a nice guy who's unattached.
Okay.
There are plenty of them out there.
I just want to tell you guys that, you guys really rock. You guys rule because, you know what, I can't go to sleep without listening to you guys at all.
Well, thank you.
Like, every night, you have to listen to Adam and Drew. Have to go to sleep.
Who do you like better, me or Drew?
Really, to tell you the truth, I like you better, Adam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so if you had to...
She's in that stage, see?
I'm sorry, Drew.
You'll grow out of it. If you had to, if you could spend a night alone, not necessarily a night of passion, with one or the other of us, who would it be?
It would probably most likely be you, Adam.
Right.
Like, you're like the funniest guy. I mean, I like guys who are like real funny and humorous and stuff and like to have a good time, have good personality.
Right. That's me. Okay. All right. Just want to get that straight.
All right.
Thank you, Kiana.
Bye.
Take care.
Good night.
All right. Oh, God bless her. On hold for 122 minutes to ask if she should go out with a guy who has a girlfriend.
And then bestow accolades upon you after that.
Right.
What did Ann say? I didn't hear it.
Ann pointed out that I was 20 when Kiana was born. I should have gotten to her. I should have snatched her away from her mother's arms early on, so I could raise her.
I'm going to speak at a commencement.
And I could have been 19, Ann. Please, let's be fair.
And I realized that when I graduated from high school, it was 2 years before these kids were born that I'm going to be speaking to.
Really?
Is that just amazing?
Oh, they should put on a big screen behind you your senior portrait.
Huh.
Yeah, they just start laughing and throwing beer cans. And again, Drew, when you address the class, don't do that whole life is a long and dark road riddled with potholes and curves and dead ends. Just tell them, look, have a good time, enjoy, try not to get too loaded in college, and don't turn gay and embarrass your folks.
One of the things I wanted to do... That's nice, Adam. Then whoever actually is gay in that population can go out and kill themselves. And what I was going to say was something that you've often said, though, and that Clive Barker sort of galvanized this for me when he was saying that people need to speak up about what they believe, about what is good and what is not good. That Monet is good and felt painting,
poker, yes.
Felt paintings are bad.
Right. I like when Drew yanks a old reference out and then shoves it in a bizarre context, so that 13-year-old Kiana can stay up all night. All right. Angie, 21.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Great. I just wanted to tell you that I love your show. I listen to you guys every night.
Thank you.
You love Adam, too, huh?
Yeah.
Who would you rather
actually...
be trapped in a porno stall with, me or Drew?
No, actually what it would be is if I had to marry one of you, I'd marry Dr. Drew, but I would date Adam.
Oh, really? Behind Drew's back, or?
No.
I see.
That's just I don't know, that's me.
Oh, yes. We'd have kicks, baby. I'd give you the best 2 weeks of your life.
Sure.
What's up, Angie?
Okay, this sounds like a totally egotistical problem, but I'm serious. Every time I meet a guy and, like, people either try to set us up, like, on a date or something, they become, like, in love with me or something, and I just cannot tell them, like, look, I just want to be friends. These guys just, like, I've got a guy on his way over right now. He's driving an hour and a half to come see me.
Really?
Yes.
What time is it where you are?
About 2:30 in the morning.
Sheesh.
Let me tell you what this guy's thinking. Let me tell you his mantra as he drives 150 miles, or an hour and a half. Rape.
Well, no, because, I mean, we've been in school together before. He's a guy I know. I mean, we've hung out quite a few times.
Uh-huh.
And there's been times, like, when nothing has happened, and he's...
Now, why don't you learn to assert yourself with these guys? I mean, let's put it this way: are you meeting the kinds of guys that you want to have a relationship with? Are you able to?
This is the kind of guy that my mother would love for me to marry.
No.
I mean, he's like a college graduate, real smart, like soon to be making like a ton of money. But
Right, but you don't like your mom. All right, so...
The kind of guy I like is like your typical loudmouth.
Right. That's...
and grand, like...
Right, the guy...
self-absorbed type.
Shows up loaded at your aunt's funeral and is, passing wind during the ceremony.
You're going to have to go through a few of those guys before you realize what that's all about, I guess. I don't know why you need to do that to yourself, but you got to go do it.
Are you exceptionally attractive, Angie?
I'm
Evidently.
not sure.
Yeah, you are. You're good looking, otherwise. Are you real chesty?
No.
No, so you're really good looking. And that's why you're getting all this attention.
I've had 2 exes that, like, totally threatened me when I broke up with them. And there's, like, another guy who...
And that wasn't enough of those loudmouth guys?
No, they were jerks.
Well, guess what?
What?
You gotta learn from these previous relationships. You really do.
Let me tell you something, Angie.
You keep choosing the same kind of guy, the same kind of things.
You're going to go out with jerk after jerk after jerk, and then eventually you'll settle in with the guy who's coming over tonight. But he'll want nothing to do with you because you'll have lost your beauty by then. So why don't you give in to him tonight?
Oh, no way.
What? The guy's driving an hour and a half.
At least be open to the possibility of a relationship with him. How about that?
All right. Let me. I pulled the sexual distance chart down. Half hour is tongue kissing. Hour is hand down the pants, and anything after an hour and a half is sodomy. Drew, I don't know. Can you see the chart here?
Yeah.
All right. All right. More Adam, more Drew after this.
I began to float.
Then short notice.
I ran into Darren, at the Mighty Mighty Bosstones concert like a month ago, and Darren said, and John actually from Goldfinger, and Darren said, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Which is
amazing.
That's a
stretch for
please listen. And Darren said, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think what you need is like the third opinion guy on the show. And maybe I could just come in and hang out, and I would be, I would settle disputes, and I would be like the third opinion. I said, I'll bounce that off of no one and get back to you. So anyway, although I do sort of miss the boys from Goldfinger, so wherever the hell they are, actually Darren's probably listening now, so we should get them back on and see them soon.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Ann, what about John Popper? Isn't what about the Horde tour? Isn't that coming up soon?
That's
and
coming
isn't he
through
going to
our
be
town real
around
soon?
Is he going to be around promoting that or anything?
Probably around July.
Ah, all right. Yeah, we'll do that maybe. Okay.
I'll work on it.
Let's wrap it up, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go.